Hi guys, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title up there, I have a video that is a little bit different for you guys. I'm going to be telling you my thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy S4. This is my point of view on the phone, and I'm not at all telling you that you should get this phone over another phone. I'm not saying that it's better than another phone. I just wanted to give you my point of view from the average consumer's perspective. With that being said, I'm not the type of person that's always up to date with the trends in technology and phones. I only get a new phone whenever my contract's up, so this is from very average perspective. Pretty much, I'm not the person to ask if you want to compare this to the HTC One or like to the iPhone. This is just what I think. So first of all, before I got the S4, I had a BlackBerry, and I was using that for 3 years, so that model was getting kind of old and it was slowing down and stuff like that. I knew that any kind of upgrade would be good. I was considering waiting for the new iPhone, but I decided not to wait for it, which is why I decided to upgrade my plan early, a few months early actually. The reason why I chose not to go with an iPhone was because I just felt like the trend with the iPhone was kind of always the same. If you look back on like the old iTouches and then like the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S and the 5, they all have the same kind of layout on the phone, and I guess I was kind of used to seeing that on my friends' phones and stuff like that, so I wanted something new, and that's why I decided to go with the S4. Another reason why I chose the S4 was just because I felt like a lot of my friends had iPhones and they were moving into the Android market, and I really did want an iPhone for the longest time ever, and I had my mind set on getting an iPhone when my contract was up. But since it seems like everybody's moving into Androids, I thought that I'd take a look at it and see if I liked it or not. So I did play around with it in the stores, I played with my friends' phones, and I just thought that this would be a better choice for me. Another thing that I heard about and that I found out from the S4 is that it's very customizable, so you can make it your own instead of having the same kind of layout. So that's another reason why I chose it, but I'll talk about those features later. And I just wanted to point out that I'm not giving you a full-on review where I go through all the specs and stuff of the phone. I'm just telling you what I know from my point of view for just using it for the last few weeks. So of course there are always tons and tons of things that you can learn from other people on YouTube or from the internet and stuff like that. I just quickly wanted to go through my usage with the phone so you guys have an idea if you guys would use the phone more than me or less or similar. So I always have my phone on me. I'm one of those people, but I usually only use my phone for social media, so I'm on Facebook, Twitter, I'm checking my text messages, I'm using WhatsApp, I'm using Instagram. Those are the applications that I use the most. I also go on YouTube occasionally, but I only go on YouTube when I'm at home using Wi-Fi because I don't like to use my data. And I've just been using my phone for short phone calls. I haven't really been having like hour-long conversations on my phone either. With that being said, battery-wise, I maybe need to charge my phone like once every 2 days or every day for about like 20 minutes a day. So I never go through 100% of the battery life in one day. Even with all of my browsing on all my social medias and using email, I've only been using less than 1 gig of data a month, but that's just for this first month. When it comes to the physical features of this phone, some people don't like how it's plasticky and they don't like the feeling of it. They think that it feels cheap, but I personally like it, and I like how lightweight it is. Another thing that I really like is how there's a button on the front here so you can turn it on like that. I also really like the screen size. It took some getting used to since my BlackBerry screen was like so tiny, but if you compare it to this old iTouch here that I have, you can see how much bigger the screen is. I do feel that the screen is a lot bigger than an iPhone, but it is quite small if you compare it to a lot of the newer products that are on the market today too. Another thing I like about the screen is that I think it's a good size that when you turn on the side to watch movies and stuff like that, or not movies but videos on YouTube, I think that it's a good size as well. What I like about the unlock screen is that you can put some widgets here at the bottom that you use frequently that you can use as shortcuts. So if I want to use a camera, I can just hold it and swipe up and that'll take me right into the camera. And I think that the layout of this phone is very easy to use. It took me a while to get used to, but after a little while, it's actually quite easy. One thing that I really like about this, which I'm sure is similar for a lot of other phones, it's really easy to make folders and to put your different applications into them. So I have this one here for my social media where I have, Vine, Tumblr, Twitter, and all that stuff. It's really easy to do. And I also have this weather widget right here. I actually don't use a ton of widgets, but that's a way that you can really customize your phone. So you just go into your apps, and then beside your apps you have widgets here. So whenever you download an application that has apps or a lot of widgets that come with your phone, you can just click on it, hold it, and then you can just drag it to where you want it to go. And then it'll be right there. Another thing that this phone has are live wallpapers, which I currently don't have on my phone, but you can download them and you can have like fireworks in the background and stuff like that, which is cool. So whenever I'm in an application, there's this small message bar at the top here, right beside that Instagram icon, and whenever I get a new message or something like that, the whole message will display up at the top and it'll tell me who it's from and what they've said, which is very convenient because then I don't need to exit out of the app. You can also just drag down the bar here to see all of your notifications and they'll all show up there. Another thing about this feature is that it's really easy to get into your settings, so you can actually swipe with 2 fingers and then you can turn things on and off. If I want to turn my data off, I can do that and turn on my Wi-Fi instead. So that just makes it really easy. I don't need to manually go into settings for that. And the settings that I need to get into most frequently would be the Wi-Fi, GPS, screen rotation, the mute, the sound, and the vibrate, that one. Power saving I usually always have on, same with sync, and multi-window. Multi-window is a really cool feature. So how this works is that if you turn on multi-window, right there, you will come up with this thing on the side. So say if I am in an application like, let's say Twitter, there's this thing on the side and I can just open that, and I can choose another application to open. So say I want to open Chrome, I just hold that, drag it where I want it, and then Chrome shows up. And I can also make this, you know, smaller, or I can make it bigger, however I like, and then I can work on Chrome and I can also be on Twitter as well. So I think that the S4 is a really nice phone, and as you can tell, I am no expert on it and I basically don't even know how to use many of the features. That's the thing that I like about it. There are just so many features and there's so much stuff to learn. You know, I'm always on YouTube looking for tutorials and like new features that I haven't discovered yet, which is kind of cool and a lot of fun. I think that if I went from my BlackBerry to an iPhone, it would have been a lot simpler and it would have been a lot easier to get used to and to navigate around, just because it is simpler, it is a simpler layout, and I think, you know, from playing around with my boyfriend's iPhone and stuff, I'd just be used to it already. So my suggestion to you, if you are looking for a new phone, is to go into the store and play around with the different phones. If your friend has a phone that you like, then maybe ask them if you can play around with their phone, maybe download a few apps and, you know, just see how you like it. I'd also say to look up consumer reviews. I have looked up many consumer reviews whenever I buy a new phone, a new laptop, you know, anything especially technology related. I find it a lot better. And it's really easy now too with the internet. You can just go onto YouTube, look up someone's review, or like, you know, look on the internet. People have tons and tons of blogs on them. So yeah, just look up reviews and see what other consumers have said. And like I said before, just think about what you want to get out of your phone. If you guys have any questions on this phone, please let me know. I do not guarantee that I'll be able to answer them, but I'll try to help you as best as I can. And yeah, just again, keep in mind that this is just my point of view on the phone from an average consumer perspective, and I just wanted to provide my input on it, yeah, just from a very average point of view in case anybody wants to know from an average point of view. Okay, well, yeah, that's all.